There's a moment in almost everyone's life when things feel uncertain. When you look at where you are and it doesn't match where you thought you'd be, maybe you've felt it already. That quiet frustration, that voice in your head asking, am I really capable of something more, or is this just who I am? And the truth is, that moment is not a sign that you're failing, it's a sign that you're becoming aware. Because most people go through life on autopilot. They wake up, follow routines, react to circumstances, and slowly accept limits they never questioned. But the moment you start asking deeper questions about your life, your direction, your potential, that's when everything begins to change. The problem is, awareness alone isn't enough. It can actually make things harder at first. You start noticing your habits, your distractions, your excuses. You see the gap between who you are and who you want to be, and that gap can feel overwhelming. But here's something important to understand. That gap is not there to discourage you. It's there to guide you. Every person you admire once stood exactly where you are right now. Confused, unsure, doubting themselves. The difference is they didn't wait for confidence to show up before they took action. They moved forward despite not feeling ready. Because confidence is not something you find, it's something you build. And it's built in the smallest, most ordinary moments. Waking up when you said you would, finishing something you started, choosing to focus when it would be easier to scroll, to procrastinate, to delay. These moments don't look impressive from the outside. No one applauds you for them. But over time, they quietly reshape who you are. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent, even when you don't feel motivated. And motivation, that comes and goes. It's unreliable. Some days you'll feel inspired, energized, ready to take on the world, and other days you won't feel like doing anything at all. If you depend only on motivation, you'll keep starting and stopping again and again. But discipline doesn't care about how you feel. It shows up anyway. Think about it like this. Your future is being built right now in the choices you make when no one is watching. Not in big dramatic moments, but in the quiet decisions you repeat every day. And yes, it's hard. There will be days when you doubt everything, days when progress feels invisible, days when you wonder if it's even worth it. That's normal. Growth doesn't feel like a straight line. It feels messy, slow, sometimes even frustrating. But just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean nothing is happening. You're building something deeper than results. You're building habits, you're building resilience, you're building a mindset that can handle challenges instead of avoiding them. And that matters more than any quick success. Education plays a powerful role in this journey, but not just the kind you get from textbooks or classrooms. Real education is about understanding how to think, how to learn, how to adapt. It's about curiosity, asking better questions, being willing to admit you don't know something and then choosing to learn it anyway. The world is changing faster than ever. Information is everywhere. But knowledge alone isn't enough. What matters is how you use it. You don't need to know everything. You just need to keep learning. Every skill you build, every idea you explore, every mistake you reflect on, it all adds up. And over time, it creates opportunities you couldn't see before. But here's the part most people don't like to hear. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to magically fix your situation, give you perfect direction, or hand you the life you want. People can support you, guide you, inspire you, but at the end of the day, the responsibility is yours. And that's not a burden, it's power. Because if your life is in your hands, it means you have the ability to change it. Not overnight, not instantly, but step by step. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You just need to start. Take one small action today. Something simple, something manageable. It might not feel like much, but it's not about the size of the action. It's about the direction. Direction is everything. If you keep moving in the right direction, even slowly, you will get somewhere. But if you stay stuck, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect idea, the perfect version of yourself, nothing changes. Perfection is an illusion. Progress is real. And progress requires patience. We live in a world that celebrates fast results, instant success, overnight transformations. But the reality is, Most meaningful achievements take time. They require effort that no one sees. Hours of practice, repetition, failure, adjustment. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it works. And here's something else to remember. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every mistake you make teaches you something. Every setback shows you where to improve. The only real failure is quitting completely. You are allowed to struggle. You are allowed to feel lost sometimes. You are allowed to make mistakes. What matters is that you keep going. There will be people who doubt you, maybe even people close to you. Sometimes it's not because they don't care, it's because they're afraid. Afraid of change, afraid of uncertainty, afraid of seeing someone else take a risk they never took. And sometimes the biggest doubt comes from within. That voice that tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. But that voice is not the truth. It's just a story you've repeated to yourself over time. And stories can be changed. You don't need to silence that voice completely. You just need to stop believing it every time it speaks. Replace it with action, because action creates evidence, and evidence builds belief. Every time you do something difficult, every time you push through resistance, every time you prove to yourself that you can, that voice gets a little quieter, and a new voice starts to grow. One that says, maybe I can. That maybe is powerful because it opens the door to possibility. And once you start seeing what's possible, everything changes. You begin to realize that your limits are not fixed, that your abilities can grow, that your future is not already decided. You are not defined by where you started, you are defined by what you choose to do next. So if you're feeling stuck right now, if you're unsure about your path, if you're questioning yourself, that's okay. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the next step. Focus on what you can control, your effort, your attitude, your willingness to learn, your consistency. These are the things that shape your life over time. And it won't always be easy. There will be distractions, setbacks, moments of doubt. But none of those things have the power to stop you unless you let them. You are more capable than you think, not because someone said it, but because growth is built into who you are. Every skill you admire in others, they developed it. Every confident person you see, they built that confidence over time. And so can you. But it starts with a decision to take yourself seriously, to stop waiting for permission, to stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Your journey is your own. And it's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. That version is not perfect, but it's focused, it's disciplined, it's willing to keep going even when it's hard. And the more you act like that version of yourself, the more real it becomes. So start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, do something that moves you forward, even if it's small, and then do it again tomorrow. And the day after that, because success is not built in a single moment, it's built in the repetition of small, consistent actions over time. And one day you'll look back and realize that the person you were worried about becoming is now the person you've become. Stronger, smarter, more resilient. Not because it was easy, but because you didn't give up. And that is what makes all the difference.